is Michael Hawley, and this is the 10th year I've been with Sunbury Press. My first book here of six was printed in 2016, and it's all basically about Jack the Ripper research. And so this was an unsolved mystery, and I discovered that one of the prime suspects is buried just an hour and a half away from me. I'm a Bills Mafia, so I'm from Buffalo, but in Rochester, they're buried in this Dr. Francis Tumblety, and that kind of stunned me. This Jack the Ripper from London, 1888, and it was a mystery. So I decided I'm going to put my research skills. I have a different style of skills than others because my background is fossil stratigraphy, a lot of physical sciences. I decided to go that route and discovery upon discovery. So that's kind of how it started, and it's continuing. Then also, my wife said, I want some fiction novels. And so what happened is now I have 3 fiction novels. And the first one's based upon the same thing. So I can talk a little bit about that too. The catalyst for me to start writing books was there are niche journals like Ripperologist that I was putting my research articles in, but that's just a limited amount of people. And this Jack the Ripper phenomena, this is kind of global. And so I decided I want to write books so that it gets into the hands of the general public. Then once I did my first book, The Ripper's Haunts, it got quite popular. So next thing you know, I'm asked by the British people that are part of this. There was a Jack the Ripper conference in Liverpool, England, and so here's this American goes to Liverpool to lecture to the British about a Jack the Ripper. So that was pretty fun, and so that was the beginning of it. So that's kind of how it started. I saw on Mystery Quest this episode with Jack the Ripper, and it's a mystery. And here it is, this prime suspect's buried near me. I was going to put my hat into it and then try to see if I could discover as much as I could. You know, there's dozens of suspects. So what my plan was is I was going to start with Francis Tumblety, because he was the one that started this because of where he's buried. And once I've exhausted him, was convinced this was not the killer, I was going to go to the next suspect. Well, I have not stopped researching Francis Tumblety. And in fact, I've been finding more and more material. And when I started this, the experts were basically accepted that Francis Tumblety was just a minor suspect. Now he's in the top 3. And it's all because of my research, and there's still more coming. So I haven't divulged everything yet in the public. Some of my books have some of the things, but the next book will have more. But it keeps on going. So I haven't yet gotten to any of the other cold cases. It's just continuing. So eventually, I would like to. I actually would like to have gone into the Long Island serial killer, but he was discovered. So that didn't go that way. There is a subtle difference between researching true crime and my fiction novels. An old experienced author once says if you're writing historical fiction, even though it's fiction, you better have your facts right, especially if it's a Civil War thing, all of that. But it's based on what I read with history. My true crime is what I discover, is new stuff. So I still have all the material from others that have researched. But if I do that, I get biased. And I find bias. Since the 1980s, there's bias in a lot of the writings of the people. But if you go right to the coroner's inquests that are in those daily newspapers in London, you find things that, oh, nobody told me that before. And then it kind of leads to another thing. There was an actual Scotland Yard theory that Jack the Ripper was this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type person during the day, a prominent physician, at night a medical maniac looking for the elixir of life. There's connections with Tumblety and looking for the elixir of life, which is a nice surprise. So the fiction novel I have written, the first one, is there is a serial killing going on in Western New York. And our hero, our protagonist, is a lab rat from Quantico, Virginia, in the FBI. Wherever the serial killing is going on, those officials want to have him with them because he's always gets his man. Now, what he finds out is it's actually a Jack the Ripper copycat looking for the elixir of life. Or did the elixir actually work in 1888 and it's the actual Jack the Ripper? So I have fun with that. So that started it all. I have a typical day of writing, and that's because of my family life. You know, I had 6 kids, and so and like 4 of them still live with me, but I have a grandbaby as well, and so our life is completely full, and it changes every week. Something's going on, so which is nice. I do have these deadlines, and so I put it on the family calendar. One of the interesting things is one of my fellow researchers said, "I am the fastest researcher that he's ever seen." But what it is you just it's probably because of my life. I got to get this done. I have till 3 o'clock, and then I have to go pick up my son. So I'm focused on something, and I get over focused, and I tease people. I said, "So when do you know to stop writing and stuff?" I go, "Well, I use the D word." What do you mean? Yeah, when my wife starts saying divorce, I think I went too far. So then I back off a bit. So jokingly, but it's still though priority in my life needs to be family. And then so she reminds me that. Now she was a nationally rated judo player, so she's tough as nails. So I fear her. So I will do exactly what she tells me. I've pretty much written research articles that are connected, which is the next book, and it's already 100,000 words. So it's basically the next book. It's the history of Francis Tumblety, actually how he became so interested in anatomical organs because he used to have a uterus collection. How many people do you know had a uterus collection? In the year of the murders, he told a reporter that he was constantly in dread of sudden death because of kidney and heart disease. Jack the Ripper took the kidney and the heart and the uterus from 2 people. He's the only one connected to organs. Those 3 organs. Well, in the meantime, I'm still doing lectures. I have a number of fall lectures coming up, but we just finished the documentary on the last couple of my books. Now there is a possible feature film. So a person's doing a screenplay based on my books, and he said, "Well, you did all the hard work," and I thought, "Well, I did all the fun work." That's coming up next in the world of that kind of stuff. Now I'm also an editor on the Ripperologist magazine. They want to keep me in the loop. So, what else have you found, Hawley? So, I use my website as my hub. So I am on social media, but my hub, michaellhawley.com. So with the L in the middle, because some MIT professor stole Michael Hawley. But michaellhawley.com. You can contact me. My personal email is connected to my website email, so then I will get a message.